Brother Wayman, April 27th, 2021. Lots of news. Got a capsized vessel down off the coast of Louisiana. Men are clearly trapped inside, and recovery efforts have been left to the Cajun Navy. And that's some fine folks. God bless them. God bless everybody that's down there trying to do anything. I did hear, and I don't know how much truth it is, that our President Donald Trump sent $10,000 down there to assist in the effort. And I guess that raised bigger questions for me. Where are our senators, congressmen, and how about our governor? Where is the governor of the great state of Louisiana? Because I know we got a Coast Guard, U.S.Navy, that has assets for recoveries of this kind. And shame on them for allowing this to go on and watch those families suffer and struggle. Shame on them. Shame on the corporation. SEACOR obviously wants one of these things, and anybody that's kicked around out in that Gulf of Mexico knows that a contractor will tell you all the time just how valuable you are to them until something like this happens, and then it's dog eat dog, and let the insurance companies, who ultimately insurance companies and bankers run it all, and that's the way it is. But it's a sad statement for our government, especially our governor, not to have made some type of huge effort to assist and get every asset available to him, and for our senators, U.S. senators and congressmen. Where's the Coast Guard, boys? I know y'all got a hell of a tragedy over on that border, but these is people's lives. And I know these are working men, and we don't hold a lot of value except for what you can rape us for our taxes. But hey, how about if you got time, giving those cats a call? But it's difficult to get a hold of old JBE. He's too busy dealing with COVID and getting them federal COVID dollars. That's his mission. COVID dollars, federal dollars. Rape them for all you can, and then we'll deal with taking the rest and plundering the citizens of Louisiana. What a peach, boy. I bet y'all are proud you voted for that son of a gun. But at any rate, if you think about it, give a shout out to that. I had a question come through from a friend of mine last night asking me if I knew anything about NESARA. And I shared with him that, yeah, I've done some research on NESARA. And actually, on my website, United to Save America, I guess it's a .com. But at any rate, I published a blog a couple of months back talking about shedding the world of the central bankers and understanding, a little history about who those cats are. The central bankers, the Kasarian Mafia. So the mafia runs the banks? Whoa, who would have ever guessed? But NESARA, just like the globalist central bankers, are setting the world up for a great economic reset. That's just further to enslave you. That's a little code. They're going to properly enslave you, your family, your prodigy, just like, we have been for decade after decade after hundreds and hundreds of years. So they want a great reset, and that means, I guess, they'll either indebt us for what for the sum of money that's owed to them right now on today's date, which is hundreds of thousands of dollars per taxpayer. But the NESARA is a quantum financial system. Biblically, people refer to it as a jubilee, and that's where all debts are forgiven. You know, I don't know if the time frame on it, but I've read it. It might be like every 50 years to have a cycle of a jubilee to forgiveness of debt, to where people can start over, learn from their mistakes, and get on with their lives. Huh? But NESARA, right now, everybody needs to know we're in a battle. There's two possibilities. We live in the Joe Biden reality that we're all screwed and we're going toward communism, or that there are some white hat guys, good guys, working in the background to defeat the Cajun mafia, to destroy their financial system of debt, worthless money, worthless paper. And if they win, the white hats, well then the quantum financial system will be implemented. Let's see, that would get away, and we would do away with the Internal Revenue Service, the IRS, the Federal Reserve bankers. We would force them to hand over the money, and I don't guess really want their money, but we'd sure like to have some of their gold. And for the United States of America to go to a gold, silver, and maybe platinum, but solid currency, solid backed money. And let's all pray that the good guys win. But there's a lot to NESARA, and on my website I published a blog to get rid of the deep state cabal and the central bankers, and laid out put some links in there to where you can do your own research and study just what is NESARA and what's it going to look like for the American people. I'll celebrate the day that it happens. I think it'll be life-changing, and that's why many people refer to the white hat movement and guys working in the background to defeat the cabal that is the Biden administration, the failed Congress, both parties, so that we can reclaim our United States Constitution. Because we've been operating as a corporation, and that's why D.C. is a state of itself. You know, it's I'm trying to think of the terminology, but it's a state just like the Vatican, a nation state unto itself. At 10 square miles, whatever D.C. is owned by the corporate bankers, the global elites, and that's the Bank of London and the Vatican. And with that ownership that they have, they took over our banking system, they took over our currency, they operated it out of the Federal Reserve, which is all a scam and a lie, and enslaved us all to debt. Each one of us is an owned piece of property by the corporation on paperwork. And if you go back and study what they did in destroying the Constitution, the fact that we have two constitutions, the one in power right now is the corporate Constitution, and that's one of the things that the Great Awakening will swiftly change, is we would restore our original Constitution. And there's lots of thoughts on just how that'll look, whether we would start over and elect our 19th president under the original restored Constitution, or maintain the show that is Joe. But if the show that is Joe gets 4 years in office, good God Almighty, I don't know what y'all are going to do. Better be finding you someplace to get. And if you can't afford a place to get, keep your head down, duck for cover. I mean, corporations, and that's just like our little situation down on the coast. When the corporations get their butt in the crack, all their love of humanity and their employees goes out the window. It becomes survivability. You know, what is the least liability we can suffer? If we got to buy off these people and these families, what's the least amount of dollars that we can get away with paying for that human life? Hell of a deal, but it's a reality. And it's a reality because we operate under a corporate United States government. And it's time to clean up the mess. And hopefully the good guys can accomplish that. But the one thing that we, as Americans, need to monitor and keep a close eye on is learn when to scream. Learn when to holler, enough's enough, or you've pushed us further than we're going to be pushed. And when it comes to having little COVID meetings once a week with the governor versus the governor getting off his fat tail and getting down to that coastline and seeing the struggle of those families, seeing the struggle of those families. Can you imagine knowing that your son, your daughter, was trapped inside a sunken vessel? All right, I'm going to give you, if they're there, they're dead. You know, we all know the reality. But for no one to be making an effort from inside your government to go in and recover those bodies, shame on you. Folks don't realize if you don't recover a body and it comes time for an insurance company to have to settle up with you, you're going to be drug your ass out in courts until you're dead. You know, maybe your children will have the balls to fight to recover what they're owed. But the time frame for an incident offshore and in that water when there's no recoverable body, you need to look at the insurance and how they handle that. So shame on them all. Shame on them. Shame on that John Bell Edwards. I don't want to hear about your stinking COVID, whether I got to wear a mask or not wear a mask, got to get a vaccine. Man, get over that. We over it. We're tired of you. Open up our damn state. Let us get back to work. And respect the workers, you son of a bitch. Learn to respect the working people. You've got no balls. Hateful son of a gun. Working people just trying to get by. Small businesses, you know, guess what? A small business is owned by a working man, working women, families. And you cutting their legs off underneath them over a flu? Take your lie and peddle it somewhere else. And you can bet your tail most of them small businesses and people like me, we didn't vote for you. We knew what you were. So however you stole or rigged the election, who cares? We don't care. But you're there now, do your job. Get off your tail and do your job. All you senators, U.S. Senators, Kennedy, Cassidy, do your job. Get somebody down there and help these people. That's working folks. That's working families standing there waiting for any piece of news, any kind of glimmer of hope. And now the hope is just bring them home. Recover the bodies, for Christ's sake. Cajun Navy. That's great. What about the U.S.Navy? The United States Coast Guard. If you know, I mean, look, it's not like they don't know where this thing is sitting. capsized. Get off your tail and get in there and help. Give the appearance that you want to help. All right, bye. 15 minutes is up.